Hello, I'm Kourtney.
I'm Kourtney.
And today we are going to make a quilted skirt.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah. What I did was I bought a pattern on Etsy for a circle skirt. It's a double circle skirt. So it's gonna be 8 whole panels. Like it's gonna be massive.
Awesome. It's gonna be like a super long skirt, like how
It's gonna be about to my knees.
Okay.
But it's gonna be, it's got like, so this is part of the pattern. There's gonna be 8 of these.
Oh.
So it's a lot of fabric.
A lot of fabric,
Yes.
a lot of work, but also a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a ton of fun. So that's basically what you can do is you can just buy any type of pattern on Etsy or from Joann's, and then what you do is just quilt it out like you would a normal quilt and then cut it out with that pattern. But first, I am gonna put together my pieced top.
Okay.
And I've chosen these colors here because I want it to be really fall-like.
Colors. We're gonna have an awesome fall event
Yes.
here. Hope everyone's having fun with all the stuff that we have going on for Fall Festival.
Yeah. So this is the size, the general size of the piece top that I want to make.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just kind of place these in the color scheme that I want. So I think I want it to go like from dark at the top to maybe down lighter towards the bottom.
Awesome. So kind of like fade off.
Yeah, exactly. So like the bottom part will be this really light color. So let's check the height of that.
So did you go purposely pick out all these, or like where did you already have some of these in your stash, or kind of how does it work?
I had about half of these in my stash, and then the
Okay.
rest I kind of supplemented because I didn't have enough. And then I wanted this like beautiful purple color that I
It's a
didn't
really
have.
great color. I don't even know what I would call that, but it looks
It's like,
really nice.
yeah, it's like almost a like a dusty eggplant, which I like a lot.
It's like a dusty eggplant. Yeah, that's what happens in fall. Your eggplants get dust on them.
Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna just start sewing these.
Okay, I'm gonna let the professional up. Then I'll just like step aside over here.
Just gonna finger crease that. Do this one next.
Awesome. So we're just sewing these all together in like a line, right? Then we're gonna like cut it out essentially
Yes.
with the pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's our strip. We're gonna attach it to this guy right here.
This little guy is gonna go over with this little guy here, and it's gonna be a party.
Yep. So we'll get that going.
Awesome. Look at that. Boom.
Ta-da! I've got a finished one right here.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
It's not out of nowhere. It took a lot of work.
Worked a lot on this. So this is our general shape.
I love the colors. Great colors.
So we'll just put this on just to make sure that it fits.
Awesome.
Yep, so it'll fit perfectly, just barely. I'd probably want at least another inch on here.
Okay.
On these sides, but I think it'll work just fine.
All right, sweet. We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Let's take this over to the quilting machine. Okay, so I have my backing. It's gonna be this really bright, beautiful purple color. And luckily we have a color to match from our finesse thread line.
On our beautiful 21X Elite sewing machine.
She's a beauty. The size of the touch screen is just amazing. I love it. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up and then pin my backing to the leader cloths. So I'm gonna start from the middle out.
Awesome. There we go.
And then so that's nice and tight on there. And then we'll pin the bottom.
All right, there we go. So we got the top pinned, and then we did the bottom, rolled that up, and now what are we gonna do?
We're gonna float the batting on
Okay.
top. Can I have you hold these? Perfect.
Now, I get a lot of people ask me about floating. Kourtney, do you have is this like a preference thing? Because that's, from what I've heard, it's like a preference.
This is a preference for sure because there is a batting rail underneath this. But since I'm doing a small piece, I'm not too worried about it. As long as my backing is straight, I can float my batting, no problem.
Okay, perfect. Yep, and then we saw these quilt clips here that will clamp on the front and allow you to do the floating. These aren't included, but they're a nice accessory that, you know, help you float it if you'd like to do that. And a lot of people that I know and a lot of people I hear from, they definitely prefer floating over attaching it because it's kind of just like one last step you have to do.
Yes, exactly. So here's my
beautiful, gorgeous.
Yes, very nice.
Very nice.
We're gonna just toss that on top. We're also gonna float this as well.
Okay. Excellent.
So one of the reasons I chose this machine to work on this project is the throat length. So this is our longest throat length that we have, which is 21 inches. So I can get all the way to here.
That's a lot of space.
A good amount of space.
Oh, absolutely.
So I should only ever have to roll it up once more to get to the bottom of this, which is super, super nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, and like the amount of free motion space I have is just awesome. The stitches per inch, or like the motor on this one is a lot faster, so I can actually move a lot quicker. You'll see that it's not going to tell me to stop moving so fast. All right, let's thread it.
Now, some people kind of get a little bit intimidated by the threading process, and I will admit the first time you do it, it might be a little bit confusing, but after you've done it 1 or 2 times, it's actually super simple to remember. So don't get scared by the threading process. There's a really good detailed way, an explanation in your instructions that show you how to do it. And then once you're like us and you've done it a few times and you got it in your brain, and you're not gonna have to look it up again. And on some of our other machines, they actually has little pictures there that kind of walk you through. For example, on our 19X Elite, it has images that show you how to thread it through. So that's some nice additions. Also built into the instructions, this screen and this display are the instructions. So it's actually in the menu. You don't even have to leave to go to your instruction book. And I can show that in a second after Kourtney's done threading this here. So in this screen right here, there's like a menu in the top corner, and there is a help area, and there is a preparing to quilt, and there's a threading your machine. So it will show you, there's like a couple different displays right here. Like number 1, it shows you exactly how you want to go through this top post. So, you know, it'll walk you through each little step. And that's just something that's really nice. I like this detail that they added to these Elite machines, because you don't even have to step away. You know, if you forget, you can just pull it right up there on your screen.
I've got my bobbin in, but there's a bobbin estimator. This is the toolbox, bobbin estimator. We're gonna select a bob, we're gonna add a bobbin. This color is purple.
Yep, name it up there.
Purple.
You see that we got an entire, you know, this is a whole entire touchscreen, so we got a full keyboard on there, so that's nice.
So, and about a full bobbin length is almost 55 yards, so that's what we're estimating it on. And we've got that going, and it's got a little green bobbin on the side, which means we are good to go. And then later on it'll turn orange and then red.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it'll let you know, it'll notify you once it's starting to get low, because it is an estimation, so this is based off how much you're moving your machine. So it's not gonna be 100% right, but it gives you a really good idea when you're getting close and when you start paying attention, so that way you're not running out.
Perfect. So this is extremely important. Test your machine before you start on your quilt. Always test it. Always, always, always test it.
Yeah, off to the side. Or...
Yeah, so luckily I have this area that I'm not gonna be using, so I am going to test it over here to make sure that the tension is right and my machine is moving smoothly. So we're gonna try that. And that is looking amazing. So we're doing very well. The attention looks good.
Looks like a beautiful stitch on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my ideas are is gonna be more of like fall and leaves and kind of more organic shapes, maybe some feathers in there, you know, to go with my like bird.
Yeah, the bird theme.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start by tacking it down around here, just to make sure that it stays nice and flat. Trim this real quick, and then we'll start doing that. All right, this is so exciting. So that's as far as my machine will go there.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna start from here and then just kind of do free motion my way across this whole thing.
Okay, awesome.
So.
Sweet. Go ahead and start. Roll it, roll it. Yeah, go for it. This is the fun part.
It is. Now, I hear you have this really cool design.
I do have a really cool design. Kind of do like a zigzag. So there you go. The fun part is when you kind of go back up and it automatically like turns into like a fern or a leaf. So there you go.
That's so cool.
There you go. Do you want to try out doing that new method?
I'm gonna try it. We'll see. I haven't practiced it.
That's all right.
But that's okay. This is all part of the fun. That's so awesome.
It's super easy to add plants and you can really start to fill it in, and what you can do is like start to angle it like I did over here so it starts to go in another direction.
Yeah.
And if you make one side shorter than the other, it kind of like makes an angle of the plant. So that way it's not just like looking at it straight on, so it's kind of like more 3D.
That's so cool.
All right, let's get started on doing all the rest of it there.
Okay, so it's about the time that we need to roll it up to the next spot, so right here.
And let's just show them how easy that is.
Yes.
Yeah, take these little things off and just go up here and we're perfect. Go ahead and lock a little bit more, perfect.
There we go. And then we'll tighten it back up. Oops. There we go.
All right, pop that back on here and smooth this on out.
Now I'm gonna go to the very edge and then tack these on again. All right. What are you gonna show me?
So I'm gonna do a flower, since I was just talking about flowers here. It's kind of like a rose, and it has kind of a little bit of overlapping, so you just have to be careful when you're going back. Otherwise the lines can look like a little bit weird.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do my best. Again, not a professional, but that's what we're here to do. We're here to have some fun.
Yeah.
So just like I'm not gonna be intimidated right now, I need y'all not to be intimidated when you're doing your own projects, right? Because this is a super beautiful, fun little skirt that we're doing here. So I'm just gonna go you kind of start out in the center here, and you kind of go around, and then what you're gonna do is start adding like little petals like this, and you're gonna go back and then out like this, and then back out like this. And they start to get bigger as you go.
Oh, I love that.
Let me ask you a few things here,
Yeah.
just in general about free motion quilting, because we've been doing a lot of kind of just free flow, free motion quilting. People always ask me, well, they say, oh, you know, I'm not good. They'll come up and try and do a little bit. And I think that's all right, because, you know, no one starts out good. Maybe like 1 in a million people can. And we can be a little bit jealous of them. That's all right. But kind of when you first started, what was like your experience like starting to learn? Did you like draw on paper, or like how did you start to try to do it?
Definitely. I definitely started on paper.
Okay.
I even during meetings, I would just kind of like doodle around and just try not to move or pick up my pen or pencil, and just see like what I can come up with. And it's really fun, I found, to kind of react to what you've already made, which is kind of what I'm bringing to this as well. Like I'll go into a feather or a leaf and then kind of come back around it, which is a really interesting way to like just react to what you've already put on there. And it's I don't know if they call it graffiti quilting, something similar.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love that whole idea of you not quite sure what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I really love some of these other ones that you put back in here with like these loops around here, and then you went into a flower, and some of these other here that kind of goes into a leaf. I really like it. It's just super fun to be creative and just see kind of how it like spills out onto the quilt.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, because no one's going to look at that and say like, oh, they messed up here.
We're like, oh yeah, because when it's kind of free flow, there is not really a way to mess up, right?
Right, and also it's just you're just learning as you're going along, and why not make it into something kind of fun?
Yeah, I'll try to do some more here. Oh, well, if you can see on here, I'm red on the bobbin, so I believe that means we run out of bobbin thread here.
Luckily, I've got more bobbins.
What just happened here is we were seeing the end, we kind of got a little bit excited, kind of got a little like tunnel vision, like, oh, we're so close, we're almost done with this section. So it's good, you know, when you're trying to start to get towards the end, maybe take a break.
I think you'll be more pleased if you just take a break and come back to it and really give it your best, just like you did with the rest of your quilt.
All right, so I'm just gonna go back right here. There you go.
That's great.
It's a little bit more dense than the rest of it, but that's all right.
I love it. I think that gives it more like shape and flow. I think it's very, very fun.
Awesome. Well, there we go. There we go, novice quilter. See, anyone can do it, right?
Yeah,
I haven't actually made a quilt, so
yeah.
There you go.
We did awesome together. Also, it's very, very fun to kind of play off of each other's quilting. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, I think everyone does it a little bit differently, so don't try to be exactly the same as everyone. I mean, some people like to do very specific things, or very dense, or very wide. Kind of find your own style, whatever you think is fun. That's kind of what's fun about being creative, right?
Absolutely. All right, so we just pulled this off of our quilting machine. I chose to do the feather because I love birds more than anything. You know this. I spent a lot of time at a bird sanctuary, and I'm going to be spending the next 6 months at a bird aviary.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to do like a little homage to my favorite animal. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna place that pattern on top of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna pin it down. Do you wanna help me pin it from that side?
Show me how to do it, and then I will do what you do.
Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna just go all the way down and up.
Coming back up. All right, got it. I'm gonna start up here then.
So one thing I wanna be sure about with this is each of the patterns has a name. So this is the side front skirt. There's gonna be 2 of these.
Got it.
So when I cut this out, I need to mark somewhere that this is side front skirt.
Okay.
Because each of them have a different size at the top.
Ooh, all right, that makes sense.
I have my fabric cutting scissors. And what do we never use these on?
Paper.
Exactly.
This
is only for fabric.
Only for fabric.
Yes.
Yeah, you be careful. You know, if you're out there and you're listening in and you're not a quilter, don't use quilter scissors for paper. I'm just warning you because I care about you. I don't want them to come after you.
Because we will. We will. All right, let's get cutting. This feels like so much work to just be cutting through it. Not gonna lie. But,
well, like hopefully when we put it all together, you'll feel like it's worth it. I mean, I think it looks awesome and amazing, and I'm really feeling like it's gonna be awesome.
I sure hope so.
All the pins out?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's almost a little bit like, I feel like I'm getting like a gift, but you know, it's not for me, but like I get the gift of seeing it.
Let's go! Oh, that's fun. Beautiful. Yeah. Cool, so that's just 1 out of 8.
Now, how do you feel about it now that it's all cut out?
It actually looks pretty nice. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I do love the back. I think that's nice. It'd be really cool to somehow do it reversible, so I could wear like just a bright purple skirt, but this will probably be the top.
Awesome.
So
I love it.
What I'm gonna do from here is cut out the rest of them and then sew them together just like I would the pattern, like the pattern of the skirt, but instead of hemming it up, I'm just gonna bind the bottom, just like I would bind a quilt. So then it does feel very quilty.
Yeah. I was wondering what we were gonna do on the edges here and how that was gonna work, so it'll be cool to see.
On the inside, if I do wanna make it kind of a double, like reversible skirt, I could do a binding on the inside as well. Ooh. So I'm gonna get this sewn together and then I will show you the finished piece. Woo! So definitely try things. Like even if it doesn't work, you learn so much from it. So this piece is all paper piecing, awesome. Which I've done before, but nothing this intense. And I learned a lot. Like you can use scraps for a lot of it, but you also want to make sure that the scraps are big enough so you don't go off the pattern, which is really important. I highly recommend to have enough fabric.
Quilters are really creative people, so you know, express your creativity, have fun, try new things.
Absolutely, always try new things, and don't be afraid of our machines. They're actually super simple and very user-friendly.
Yeah, absolutely, super user-friendly. Every time someone comes up there and they start using it, you know, I can tell they start to get comfortable after they've actually done it. It's just getting there, that's the hard part right there, being willing to try. But absolutely try it, get out there. But I really enjoyed this time here, you know, quilting and having fun with the project. It's definitely a turn up from, you know, just the machines and the business side of stuff that I'm always involved with. So this was super fun for me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. It's been great.
That's all. You know, we'll see you later. I'll see you later. I'm sure Kourtney will be here on camera some other time. But thank you so much for joining us for this segment. And I hope you have a good rest of your fall festival and your day, and a good fall day at that. You know, best season. Bye.
Have a great day.